An Aurora police officer is heading for the exits before he can be punished for photos mocking the death of Elijah McClain. Hard to blame him, though. I mean, Aurora's last interim police chief resigned rather than face possible punishment for his handling of a drunk cop on duty. So Officer Jaron Jones walks that well-worn path out the door of Aurora PD just ahead of the short T-Rex-like arms of internal affairs. Jones is one of 3 officers believed to be involved in a photo mimicking the neck hold that Aurora officers put on Elijah McClain before he died. Jones has been with that agency since 2016. McClain died in August of last year. We know that photo was taken several months after that. Jones resigned on Tuesday before his official discipline was handed down. Aurora police still won't say what discipline has been recommended for the officers involved. And citizens can't ask that question to Aurora police, where they tweeted about Jones's resignation today, because what Aurora police are doing these days is turning off the feature where people can comment on their tweets. More of that trademark transparency that you were promised. On Monday, we asked Interim Police Chief Vanessa Williams why they're shutting off citizen comments on information about the protests last weekend.
The decision to do that was actually made not due to the protests, but we had a missing endangered child last week, and people were filling up that tweet feed with, other things that were not helpful in allowing us to find this child. And so there's other ways for people to make complaints through our internal affairs. They can comment, they can tag us in a tweet. So it wasn't taking away their ability to say they were upset about something, but that's just not the forum. The Twitter is not the forum.
Interim Chief Vanessa Wilson. Here's the kicker. Because Officer Jones resigned rather than risk possible firing, he can keep his official state certification as a police officer, meaning legally, another police department in Colorado can just go and hire him. So Aurora police promised to promptly release the photos of officers mocking the death of McClain when that investigation was over. The investigation ended Monday, and what we're hearing is that they are going to release them tomorrow. For those who are not in the news world, that is what you call a Friday news dump, okay? Powerful institutions will drop news on a Friday afternoon or evening when they think that people are not paying attention. And Friday night going into a holiday weekend, that's like the double bonus for burying bad news. It was Westward's Michael Roberts who pointed out quite correctly that this is the 3rd time that this has been used in the Elijah McClain case, a Friday night news dump. Perhaps what Aurora police meant by transparency is that anybody can see through it.